Good morning, everyone. Jim Laird joining you today from Grand Pacifica, right here on my upstairs balcony. It is a beautiful day here, and I just love spending every morning on the beach here. It's just awesome. Sorry to rub it in, but today's topic: staying sane in an insane world. Um, this is kind of this has been basically has come from a couple discussions I've had. I was on a couple podcasts. I was on Alison Morrow's podcast, and she started asking me about why I left the US, and I gave some of my opinion, not all of it. I gave some of my opinion. My main reason for leaving the US, is to build a gym down here. I wanna have an outdoor gym, and this is one of the few places left in the world that's actually safe where you could afford to, like, actually get beachfront property. Like, not very many places left, that I'd wanna live anyways, so that was my number one reason, but then there was a bunch of other things as well that we got into, and people started, questioning, you should stay and fight, you should do this, you should do that. There's a lot of name calling, which was very interesting. I found interesting, but I saw a headline this morning. I try not to watch the news at all, but it said, humans just breathing may be contributing to global warming, and anybody with half a brain knows that that's just sheer lunacy. The earth is set up in a giant cycle. Carbon dioxide is used by plants. Everything is recycled. Okay. Whether humans are contributing to global warming or not, um, I, I don't know. But it's getting to the point when they're starting to talk about blocking the sun and stuff like that. I mean, it's just lunacy. And what do you do when your institutions are starting to say things like, biological men can breastfeed, biological men can menstruate, biological men can have babies? I gotta be careful what I say on here, so I don't want to get my YouTube channel completely removed. But these are all things to a normal, rational person. Like it's just lunacy. So what do you do? Because what that does is it gets you spinning in your head and just totally keeps you off balance. Or, I saw another headline, this is the greatest economy and da 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 da. A friend of mine was talking about trying to find a hotel room in Naples, Florida. It was $399 a night for a Holiday Inn. So it's like just you can't make this stuff up. So and you can't and people that have bought into the narrative, there's nothing you can say to them that um and it's at the highest levels of education. So this stuff is so deeply ingrained in people, they're so brainwashed, they can't see it. And so arguing with them is almost pointless. It is pointless, actually. So really, the number one thing you can do with this kind of stuff is be as healthy as possible, because all part of this demoralization stuff that's happening, a big part of that is poisoning your water, poisoning your food, destroying your sleep, making it much easier for you to be manipulated and controlled. When you're sick, when you are sleep deprived, when you eat garbage, you are so that's one of the main reasons the powers that be are going after protein the way they are, animal proteins in particular, because they know if you're eating steak and you're eating a lot of protein, you're going to be a lot stronger. You're going to be a lot more resilient. Down here in South America, I can get away with eating a lot more carbs. Um, but you know, um, that is correct. That is a great point. 10 below. It's easy to fool somebody than it is to convince them that they have been fooled. That is very true. That is very true. I mean, just look at, you know, we have gone through probably the largest propaganda in the last 3 or 4 years. This is propaganda, uh, on a scale that's never been seen before. In World War II, there was propaganda. There's always been propaganda, but this is the first time they have the ability to distribute this stuff on a mass scale, uh, like never seen before. And McDonald's is talking about them being able to broadcast stuff directly into your brain. advertising. And you know, if McDonald's is saying they're gonna be able to do that in the next year, you know the government's been doing it for 10 years, right? So, it is so very important for you to get out in nature, to have self-care, to have great relationships, great friends. You just stay present, the tongue in the roof of your mouth, breathe through your nose, um, so you can stay sane and not be, some of this stuff is going to make you feel like you're going nuts. And that's the whole point. The whole point is to get you so emotionally worked up. And the more emotional you get, and the more frustrated and the more angry you get, the easier you are to control. Now, I don't, I'm get careful what I say here. There comes a point of no return where something has to happen when things get so out of whack. There's like a reset, so to speak. The World Economic Forum talks about the Great Reset, but this is a different kind of reset, or cleansing, so to speak. And I don't know, I don't know. All I know is I'm going to focus on myself and helping other people. And we shall see what happens here in the near future. But the next year is going to be very, very interesting. And I'll leave it at that. But, I had a conversation with a guy yesterday who was all torn up about he was stressing him out, stressing his relationship out. I was just like, "Man, you gotta stop watching the news so much. Be aware, but don't get consumed by this stuff. Take care of your family, take care of your kids." Because getting upset and all emotionally worked up about this stuff, it really doesn't really do anything for anybody. So, the best thing you can do is take care of your family, take care of yourself. And, there might be a time if when backed into a corner, that's a completely different element, but there's ways to resist this without making yourself nuts, right? And one of the ways to resist this is just to be healthy and to be sane and to say no. That's not right. Like there's no point yelling and arguing. You just say no. You've lost your mind. I've said that to a few people just on different um, talking online. I'm always very polite and very respectful. One of the best ways that you can not submit or succumb to this sort of thing is not to play their game, and their game is always personally attack you, call you a coward, call you a moron, call you whatever. Um, that's what they do. They can't argue with facts. They always basically call you a name. And so, if you can engage with these people and not play that game, not call them a name, and just make your statement and move on to it from there and not get emotionally upset. The best thing you can do to somebody who's like a narcissist, psychopathic type person is not let them affect you. Just don't even just look at them and laugh. That's the best way you can do it. That drives them insane. You the most satisfaction they get, people that are like this, is when you get all bent out of shape. But by staying calm and staying grounded in reality, and unperturbed, that that really messes with their head. So, I know I've kinda gone over the place today, but I've had several conversations in the last couple days with people that are really struggling with this stuff, and it's gonna get worse. I hate to say it, but it is. It's just the reality of it. Um, so you have to double down on your self-care. You have to double down on everything you need to do to stay healthy, getting outside, all those things we talk about repeatedly over and over again. And that's why I'm so passionate about getting on here and saying the same things over and over again. So hopefully we can get a few people to, take enough action where they're able to be above the fray and observe all this madness that's happening and not allow it to affect their mental health or their family's mental health for that matter. So I hope you have a great day today. I am not sure if we're doing our lesson tomorrow or not. That's a good question. I will make sure I ask Dr. Stillman that today. But, take the time to take care of yourself, take care of your family, surround yourself with good people. If you've got people in your life that create a ton of stress, this is a really good time to kinda, you know, trim the hedges, so to speak. So, um, coming up on the new year, it's gonna be a very interesting year. I hope I hope that everything I think is gonna happen doesn't happen. That's pretty much where I'm at this point, but sorry this isn't, a happy-go-lucky, uh, podcast, but there's a lot of people that are struggling with this right now, so I wanted to be very real and very, sincere. But probably the most important thing that I do to keep myself nuts is I don't engage. If I'm scrolling through social media, I do it very little, but I'll see a headline and I'll just look at it and go, "That's just ridiculous." And then I'll just keep I won't, like, get in the comments and start getting, fighting people and all that kind of stuff. I observe a lot of this, like, driving down the road, you see a car accident, right? You just kinda look at it and go, "That sucks." You don't become, like, absorbed or so drawn into it that you end up crashing into a tree on the way by. That's kind of the approach I take on this, and there's a lot of people that are getting so caught up in this stuff that it's really wrecking their health emotionally and really causing a lot of stress in their families, so control what you can control and then hope for the best on the rest of it. So, have yourself a great day. Make sure you get outside, and we'll see you again tomorrow.